Hey, what's up guys? This is Akshay from AS Learning, and today in this video we'll be seeing about OpenAI's playground prompting tool, and we'll also be seeing how uh, prompt engineering is, what prompt engineering is and how it works. Okay, so we know that there we have Google search, and if we search something on Google in a certain fashion, okay, let's say if you want to find something about any stock, okay, so you can pass NAC colon and that stock name. Now I'm telling this with reference to Indian stock market, okay, and straight away it gives you the stock chart and the pricing of that typical stock, okay. So this is a certain way by which Google understands to give better results. Okay, it's a search product. Okay, and the search product actually, if you pass the input or your search query in a certain fashion, it gives you better results. Similarly, for different LLMs like DALI, or let's say DaVinci or ChatGPT, if you ask these models in a certain way, they will give you better outputs. And there are different concepts also, like chain of thoughts, then different concepts like chain of thoughts, then prompt biasing, and you can also tune the prompts also. So there are different kind of activities and concepts by which you can improve your prompting results. Okay, so in this video I'll be making a series of videos on how prompt engineering is, and all these things get covered into prompt engineering. Okay, now how to give better prompts to get better outputs. Okay, now let's start. Let's Today in this video we'll be seeing how to use playground very efficiently. Okay, so here I'm be selecting my model. I can select DaVinci, Cure, Babbage. On the whatever requirements you have, you can see it in the strengths. Each model has its own strength, and then you can select your own flavor of GPT-3. For code level models, you can select these models also. Okay, they are specifically for code understanding and for code generation. Okay, now let's try to understand the first parameter, that is temperature. Temperature means randomness. If you kept the temperature 0, that means that it will be generating the same tokens again and again. Okay, now what does a token means here? Token generally is of roughly 3-4 letters into English alphabet, but here you can think of token as a word. Okay, okay, it is a collection of some characters that you can think of as tokens. Now, simply if you kept the temperature 0, it will be generating the same text. If you increase the temperature, it will increase the randomness in the token generation. Now, here I've kept the temperature as 1. Now, this was my first result which got generated, who is Lionel Messi, and it gave me this token generation. Now, pay a very close attention that the next time I will generate this, it will give me different output. Okay, right? It gave me different tokens. Now let's say if I set the temperature to 0, now it will be giving me the same tokens again. It's exactly the same token. Okay, now the next parameter is maximum length. Maximum length is the maximum number of tokens to be generated. Simple. Generally one token is roughly 4 characters for a normal English text, and it takes up to request of 2000 to 4000 tokens shared between the prompt and the completion. Okay, that is how the request works. Okay, but max length is how much big of a prompt how much big of a generated text you want. Okay, then next we have is stop sequence. Now stop sequence is what is if you want to stop your generation on a certain word, okay, then you can put that word, then it will stop generate. Okay, now because I've kept temperature as 0, it will be generating me the same text. Now I'll show you that I'll be passing here the stop sequence as national. So here you can see that it is national year. Now after, you will see that in the next generation it will stop at Argentina only. Okay, now see this. Yeah, did you see? After Argentina, it did generated anything because we have included national into our stop sequences. Okay, so understood what temperature is, what maximum length is, what stop sequences are, and what a model is. Okay, now the next thing we have is, first we'll take the easy ones. Okay, we'll come to top P later. The next thing we have is frequency penalty. Now, what it does is, how much to penalize new tokens based on their existing frequency on a text so far. So whenever new tokens are being created, you can decide on how much frequency should be there for a token. So you can penalize your tokens on the basis of their frequency. Okay, if you kept the penalty high, the frequency will be controlled. The same repetitive things won't come into play. Okay, the next is presence penalty. It is how much to penalize and bring into context new tokens. Okay, let's say if you don't want those same topics to be repeated again and again and again, if you want new context to come into play, then you need to uh, penalize your uh, presence penalty. The higher the penalty is, it will be generating more better topics. Okay, increases the model's likelihood to talk about new topics. Okay, then the next is best of. Now, how best of works is, it actually, what it does is, it behind in the backend, the model completes a lot of generation. Okay, it doesn't just generate one thing, it generates multiple completions, it generates multiple outputs. Now out of those multiple outputs, it displays only the best. Okay, now to play with that parameter, you can play with the parameter of best of, but I'll give you a caution. OpenAI has given only a certain limit on per user level. Okay, this is not an entirely free tool. Okay, after a certain limit, OpenAI will start charging you. So if you kept the generation on a higher level, then you would be spending your free quota or your free trial, whatever amount OpenAI has allocated to you. Okay, so I'll just say use it with caution. Okay, then the next is inject start text and inject restart text. Okay, we'll come to this later. First I'll show you how about show probability. So currently you're seeing only green on the screen. Okay, I'll just click on your full spectrum and now see how it works. Yeah, now you can see that we saw another color of yellow. Okay, so we have most likely words and less likely words also. Okay, so in this way we are getting a full spectrum. If I increase, let me do one thing. I'll just remove this top word. Okay, I'll increase the maximum length to help you see the full spectrum in a much better way. Yeah, okay, I was expecting another spectrum also of orange, but it just gave me two only. No, is it not two? It's two or three. I'm not sure, but yeah, it seems to be like a gradient. Okay, no, it's not a gradient. There's a clear cut here. Okay, let me try once again. I just increase the maximum length and maybe increase the temperature also. Now, let me see if it's much better spectrum. This is what I was expecting. Yeah, so here you can see that you are getting your full spectrum. Some of the words are very likely to occur and the other words are not so likely to occur. Then you can set your probabilities here, most likely, least likely. Okay, so these probabilities are basically tokens highlighting which token is likely to be generated and which is not likely to be generated. Okay, that is what is show probability. Now we are left with inject start text, inject restart text, and our top P. So to explain about inject start text and inject restart text, let me go to another prompt, here you will be understanding it better because here it is being setted. Now here you can see that the inject start text is -AI, okay, and inject restart text is human. Now let me show you something, okay. Huh. Now if you can see, my model gave me this output and there was this human colon coming de facto after it, okay. So that is nothing but my inject restart text, okay. And because your inject start text is AI, so every time the model generates something, okay, it will be starting it with the AI. Okay, so every time if you want the model to start with something, it will come into inject start text, starting text, and inject restart text is something which is once the model is generated, it will be appending at the last your restart text. Okay, and last but not the least, we are left with now top P. Now let's understand what top P is. So what happens is in text generation you have a very popular sampling technique called as nucleus sampling. Okay, now what nucleus sampling is, that I'll say guys, uh, do some Google search and all, you will be getting on what nucleus sampling is. Okay, this is somewhat a different context from the video on which this is being made. Okay, but a long short story, you can control your diversity with the help of nucleus sampling. So it basically, whatever parameter you have set here, whether it's 1 or 0.5, it actually, like if you have set it as 0.5, it means half of all the likelihood weighted options are considered. Okay, and to understand it in much more depth, you will have to understand what exactly nucleus sampling is and how it works. So internally it uses nucleus sampling, and this parameter, this is treated as a threshold in that probability function, and then my generation is done. Okay, so in this way we saw all the parameters: model, temperature, maximum length, stop sequence, stop P, frequency penalty, presence penalty, best of, inject start text, inject restart text, and show probabilities. Okay, then we'll see some other techniques, other things on this UI. If you want to see your history, okay, sorry, here we have the sorry, we just have the regenerate option. If you want to see the history, you have to click here, and then you will see all your history here. Okay, I'm seeing a 30 days history period here. Okay, and I can just click on my history and you can see whatever history I had. Okay, then the next thing we have is okay, let me go back, let me see the current editor only. Okay, then we have these two tabs. Okay, now here we have something called as insert, which is into their beta phase. This was complete, this was insert, and this was edit. So insert also you have the same sub feature: temperature, maximum length, stop sequence, stop P, and all those things. But what you can do is you can actually uh, write it. This can come handy when it is when you are filling some blank features. Let's say I'll say uh, insert is the capital of India. Now if I do submit, New Delhi is the capital of India. So if you want to insert any text, this comes handy. Okay, then the next is what is this now, edit. Okay, this is something where you write some text and you give it some external instructions and it will do it for you. Let's say if I say New Delhi is the, I'll just just make the spelling wrong. Okay, capital of India. Okay, and I'll just say fix the spellings. Let's see if it works. Yes, New Delhi is the capital of India, and in this way you can do your editing. Okay, so these are two new features which they have included now. One is insert and one is edit. Okay, so if you want to save your result, you can save it, and if you want to share it, you can share it and do other things also. Okay, so that's it with this, guys. If you learn something, or if you find this helpful, do give it a like, share it with your friends, and do check my GitHub, my other videos, and stay tuned to AS for more such amazing tech stuff. Take care. Peace out.